Start with Sam here in the middle right.
What do you think of how Ben Compton's handled playing at center and how the offense has flowed since he's been in there?
I thought the offense moved exactly like it was supposed to. Ben, he's a veteran player. He's a guy that's he's earned that position to go there. And it's unfortunate for Mike, but at the same time, it was pretty good to see Ben take the field and go out there and operate it. He's definitely a guy that I feel very comfortable with running everything in the playbook with him operating and making all the points.
Far right side, Gabe.
Jake, what can you tell us about how Jermaine has handled the move to right tackle through 3 games?
I think he's been doing good. The kid loves to play football. He has a lot of passion for the game, and he's a force. Once he gets his hands on you, he's very tough to get around. And he's still getting better each day. But his move out there, it's been great, and it's very comforting for Kenny to have Jermaine and Sed as both tackles out there.
Back row here on the right.
Can you talk about the just dynamics of your passing game and why you think it's worked so well this season, and what specifically you think Kenny is doing on the field to keep the team poised even when they were shaken up a little bit against Rice?
Yeah, I think the pass game, we started off for South Carolina and we were very quick with our throws because there was a lot of uncertainties going in that game. And then going into Lamar, we were trying to take some shots. And then this week we tried to work on our intermediate passing game. And I think what is making us successful in the passing game is Kenny's taking what gives him it. He doesn't have any interceptions right now, and I think he's taking care of the ball, pretty well. And at the same time, I think our receivers, Coach Beatty's done a great job at understanding the route concept and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish with each play. And the players, they understand it as well now, and they can go out there and they execute it pretty good. But with Kenny and his poise, just that calm nature that he has, kind of just passes off on everybody else. Yeah, we did make some mistakes in this Rice game. We had a few drops, but we're one of those. He's one of those guys like, hey, we'll get it the next time we get that opportunity, and I think you could see that as well with some of the kids that had drops in the game. They stepped up and made plays later in the game.
Standing in the back.
Obviously, not having Speedy Noel this Saturday, it may not be as explosive of an offense. How's that going to change your offensive approach going against SMU?
I don't think it's going to change anything. I think that's just another opportunity for a kid to step up and make plays. I'm very pleased with all the receivers that we got, and it's unfortunate for Speedy this week, but I think that's going to give some kids an opportunity to step up and make plays. And Ed Pope's going in at that position right now, and I think Pope has had a great first start of the season, first 3 games. So, it's not going to change anything with what we're doing offensively.
Left side, Aubrey.
Is it difficult to, and maybe I don't know if this is the problem or not, but when Kyle Allen goes in there, he's trying to, make plays. He still wants to be the starter. Is he pressing a little bit with, he's got, I think, 2 interceptions and only 18 attempts?
I wouldn't say that he's pressing. It's just you put him in. We did 10 drives offensively, and then he comes in for the 11th. The game was pretty out of hand at that point, and you're trying to run the offense efficiently at that point. But a lot of the starters were pulled at that time, and he's still trying to compete for that starting job, and still try to make a name for himself. But no, I think the kid he went in there, he underthrew the post play, but a lot of that had to do with the play call that early for me, and I think he's going to keep working, and he's going to be a good quarterback eventually for us.
Back row left, KO.
Coach, with SMU under new management, what, if any, changes do you expect to see?
I don't think there's going to be much changes defensively. Coach Mason, he's gone up against us in this offense for, I think this is the 7th year running now, so he's very familiar with what we do offensively, and I'd expect to see really nothing new on defense. There are multiple defense. They're going to do all sorts of different looks. So I think we're going to prepare for anything. I think these kids they have nothing to lose, so I think they're going to come out firing bullets at us.
Right here in front, Brent.
Through 3 games, what has pleased you the most about Ricky Seals-Jones? I mean, I know everybody knew he was this physical presence, but now he's really showing up in the games
right.
Healthy.
No, Ricky, he's had 3 really good games so far. He keeps getting better as well. He's still learning the position and still trying to perfect it. And that he's such a unique body type. Is what I've always referred to it as. Is that he's big, he's strong, and he's fast. So he can bring that physical presence in the blocking game at the same time as stretching the field vertically, and that I think that puts a lot of stress on defensive coordinators because if you have a guy that can stretch the field vertically and still add gaps in the run game, you got to pick your poison on that, and you have to play it differently. But I think he's going to keep improving, and he's fun to watch. He has a lot of fun when he's out there.
Couple more. Sam, middle.
I think you touched a little bit on this earlier, but you'd mentioned earlier this season you wanted to see how Kenny would deal with adversity. After Saturday, there's a little bit of it. How do you feel like he is handling that?
He was completely fine. There was a couple balls that he missed through, but besides that, I thought he operated pretty well. Out of the 31 balls, he probably could have completed around 27 or so. I thought he operated it very well, and that's going to happen at times. Is you're going to hit adversity, and I thought the kids they stepped up to the occasion pretty well.
Anything else for Coach Spav? We'll end it right here with Olin.
Jay, how do y'all go about deciding who's going to start at running back? Is it just how they do in practice, or do you take into account what you see as strengths and weaknesses in your opponent?
Well, that is a good question because all three of them, even adding James White in the mix, they're all really talented running backs. But a lot of it has to do with practice. A lot of it has to do with the first play call of the game, and a lot of times during the first and second quarter, we try to get them in a rotation of 4 plays in a row. Sometimes it goes 5 plays in a row, but we just gotta get all those guys out on the field and get their touches, and then from there, we roll with one guy. But that is always a debate in that room, but it also it increases the competition in that room. And those guys come out and they try to practice and they try not to miss any reps they possibly can because they know they're getting evaluated each week.
All right. Thank you, Coach Spavital. Give us a few minutes. We'll have